What's up everybody, my name is Justin and welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Tears. On today's video, we're doing the next release of Blind Barrels. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen Blind Barrels before, it is a quarterly subscription-based service where they send you a set of blind samples, completely blind, every quarter. You go ahead and try them, you scan the QR code that's on the big info piece that they send you, and you see what it is. And then if you really like it, you have the option to buy it online. So the last time I did this, it was quite long. It was like a 30-minute video. I'm going to try and do it much more condensed this time. So I'm going to do everything blind. We're going to scan them. We're going to rate them which order I like them best, and we're going to see what they are at the end. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you do want to sign up for Blind Barrels, check the link down in the description below. All right, so release VII, I believe that's 7. This one's called The Untouchables. For reasons you'll soon see and taste in this box, we have a truly authentic recipe handed down from a Prohibition-era female distiller, a whiskey that isn't aged in rickhouses, warehouses, or even on land at all. That sounds like Jefferson's. A brand that was launched with the help of a domesticated badger. I have no idea what that means. And a whiskey from a distillery that was recommended by one of our subscribers, which is a first. So that's one of the little cards here. You get this big card with a little bit more info, big tasting note thing on the back along with the QR code. So let's break them open and do some blind barrels. All right, so each sample is labeled A, B, C, and D. Makes it real easy. That's how it's going to be here on the screen for you guys today. So we're just going to get into the samples and go right away. First sample, A. Okay, so on the nose for A, I'm getting like it feels like there's malted barley in it. I'm getting plum, grape, some rosemary. Some sweet overtones too, can't quite tell what they are, so let's try it out, see what it tastes like. Okay, so on the palate here on glass number A, I'm getting, there's definitely some spice to it, and there's like, it's like a light grape juice, like the white grape juice that you can get. That's kind of what I'm getting at it. It's got some hints of tobacco and some toasted caramel in there, and it's really feeling like it's either got a good amount of malted barley in there, or maybe it's even a single malt itself. Okay, sample B on the nose. This one looks a little darker than sample A. Okay, so sample B on the nose, I'm getting really strong butterscotch, fig Newton, and I think star anise is what I'm going with on the spices there. All right, let's try sample B on the palate. All right, so sample B. First thing that struck me was a lot of spice, and I think that spice is like a cracked black pepper. It's got some silky smooth vanilla tones that finish it off, and it's got all mixed in there. It's got a good amount of leatheriness and some corn husk, which is kind of leaning towards what I'm thinking in my brain for what I'm going to guess this is at the end of the video. All right, on to sample C. I actually had C and D mixed up there for a second, just switched them over. So if you saw that in the beginning of the video, don't yell at me. Okay, sample C on the nose. This one's much different on the nose as well. I'm getting a strawberry cream cake. I think those, like the little Hostess, the strawberry cream Hostess things. Getting a hint of smoke on there, and there's actually like a deeper dark berry that I'm getting on the nose. I think I'm going to go with elderberry on that one. So let's see what it tastes like, see what we get on the palate. Okay, so sample C. To go along with that strawberry cream cake nose, when I try it out, it's got a super sweet strawberry initial punch that it gives you. Yeah, just a super sweet strawberry punch, but it's also got a good amount of spice overlaid on it. I'm going to go with allspice on it. It's got a little bit of bitteriness on the end and some breadiness throughout. I think that goes along with maybe the strawberry cream cake that I was smelling earlier. So overall, I like this one. I don't often get strawberry as the berry out of a tasting, but this one is super sweet strawberry right out of the gate. All right, last sample, sample D on the nose. I actually think I poured the least amount of this in here. Okay, so sample D on the nose. I think out of all 4, I definitely struggled with this one the most. It's a lot lighter on the nose than the other 3 were. So I'm getting like a light maple syrup and maybe a little bit of cranberry out of the nose, but we'll see what it's like when we get into the palate. Okay, so the nose actually went over pretty well into the palate on this one. I'm getting, it's a super spicy maple syrup upon the first sip. Super spicy maple syrup. I think it's got some rye in there. It's got some of that rye spice notes. And it finishes with like a nice vanilla ice cream with maybe just a little bit of caramel drizzle on it for the finish here on sample number D. Okay, so before we get to the fun part and going through and finding out what everything is, I'm going to rank these based on how much I like them, best to worst. I think my favorite was C. Second, I'm going to go with D, then B and A. So C was 1, D was 2, B was 3, and A was 4. All right, so now we get to go through, find out what it was. The last time I did the blind barrels, I think I went like 2 for 4. I could pretty well say that I did well on 2 of the guesses, was way off on the other 2 of the guesses. So we'll see how I did today. Honestly, I'm not feeling super confident about it, so let's go ahead and see what we've got on these today. And I'm going to tell you what my guesses were. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen how this works, once you scan the QR code, it just comes up on your phone with all the different samples, and you click to reveal what the samples are. They also have their own little tasting video there that you can watch if you'd like. So, sample A, which was my least favorite, I said that on the nose it was malted barley, plum, grape, and rosemary. On the taste, it was spicy, light grape juice, tobacco, toasted caramel. And my guess was that this was either a single malt or a high malt bourbon, and my guess on the proof was 105. So, click to reveal sample A. Sample A is Chambers Bay. Chambers Bay Blue Label Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This whiskey isn't aged on land, but in boathouses on a dock, giving each barrel a distinct character shaped by the sea. Okay, so doesn't necessarily mean... Okay, here we go. So proof coming in at 95. I said 105. That's not too far off. It does have an age statement of 4 years. The mash bill is 70% sweet yellow corn, 20% soft white wheat, and 10% malted barley. So that's where I was getting the malted barley in there. It does have 10% of that in there as well. So I would say I was kind of along the right lines there, guessing the malt, and the proof was pretty close. So I'm going to give myself half credit on sample A, which was my least favorite, from Chambers Bay, the Boathouse Aged Spirits Straight Bourbon Whiskey. All right, my second least favorite, or number 3, was actually sample B. Sample B, I said, was butterscotch, fig Newton, and star anise on the nose. I said on the palate was black pepper, silky vanilla, and leathery corn husk. And I said that this was either a Texas bourbon or a high rye, and it's coming in at, my guess was 101 proof. So sample B is Whiskey Acres Distilling Straight Bourbon Whiskey, bottled in bond. So it's only off by 1 on the proof. I said 101. It is bottled in bond, so that means it's 100. All right, let's see. Age statement of 5 years, 70% dent corn, 15% soft red winter wheat, and 10% malted barley. So I think that's where I'm getting those corn notes from. That 75% dent corn, definitely where I am getting that. Okay, so sample B, I think I'm going to give myself like half credit as well, because I went through the notes that it has and everything. I was 1 off on the proof. I was pretty much right there on a lot of the tasting notes that they had. I just thought that it was either a Texas bourbon. Actually, where is this? Does it say where it was made? Illinois. All right, it was made in Illinois, so not a Texas bourbon, but I think I was getting that because of that 75% dent corn. So I'm going to say I was pretty close on sample B. If you want to say half credit, that's fine. Maybe I'm at either 1 point or 1.5 points, depending on what you think after the first 2 samples. All right, let's move to sample D, which was my second favorite, and then we'll do sample C, which was my favorite at the end. So sample D, I said, was a light maple syrup and cranberry on the nose. On the taste, we said it was super spicy maple syrup, a rye spice, and a nice vanilla caramel drizzle on the finish. I guess that this was a rye at 90 proof. So sample D. What in the world? That is a cool looking bottle. So sample D is Mythology, Discover Your Spirit Animal, a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, coming in at 118 proof, so it wasn't even close on that. Mixology Distillery from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Best Friend Cask Strength Bourbon. It's a blend oh my goodness. It's a blend of a 15-year Kentucky bourbon, which is 78 corn, 13 rye, and 8 barley. A 5-year Indiana bourbon of 60 corn, 36 rye, 4 barley, and 3-year Indiana. Oh, and 4 barley. And a 3-year Indiana bourbon, which is 75 corn, 21 rye, and 4 barley. So, yeah, there's some old stuff in there. A 15-year Kentucky bourbon in sample D. I said it was a rye at 90 proof. Let's see the tasting notes, see if I was close on any of those according to what they say. Okay, I think I was pretty close overall on the tasting notes, but I was way off saying it was a rye and at 90 proof, seeing that it's 118 proof. It's got some really old stuff in there. Let me try this one again real quick. Yeah, that's not bad. And that's a really cool looking bottle there. I really like that bottle. So I don't think I'm going to give myself any credit. No points on that one. And we'll go ahead and move on to sample C. My last one, and the one that I liked the most. I said that sample C on the nose was strawberry cream cake, hint of smoke, and elderberry. And on the palate, it was a super sweet strawberry allspice, just a tad bitter on the end and kind of bready throughout. I said that it is a finished bourbon at 98 proof. Finished bourbon at 98 proof here on sample C, which is, oh God, it's sample C is an Iowa Legendary Rye 3-barrel reserve coming in at 103 proof, so I was only 5 off on the proof from Iowa Legendary. This is a true Prohibition rye, aircrafted and old school. Okay, coming in. It's 100% rye. So I said finished bourbon. So it is a 100% rye mash bill. Oh boy. So let's see what they said on the notes. Maple donut, deep mint, thyme, turbinado sugar, aromatic buttered bread. Okay, pretty close on the nosing there. Yeah, so I was pretty close on the tasting notes there, but oh man. I could not have been further off on what my guess was for the final bottle here, saying it was a finished bourbon at 98 proof. I mean, that's pretty close on the proof, only 5 off on the proof, but it's a 100% Iowa rye coming in at 105 proof. That one's really good. I really like that one. Let me see what this one would cost, because it doesn't give you the option to do a buy now. Oh, you have to sign in. So I don't know. But yeah, that's what is going to win it for me today. It is the 100% rye from Iowa Legendary in Iowa, in Carroll, Iowa, coming in at 105 proof. No age statement on this one, so that's kind of surprising to me, because generally I don't think ryes are my favorite over bourbons, but this one was really, really good. Tastes really good. Has a nice nose on it. Still doesn't seem like a rye to me, but that's really good. I really like that bourbon a lot, so congrats to Iowa Legendary. That's some really good stuff. Hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really tried to condense it down from the last version, so hopefully it all makes sense as I go through and edit it together and cut it all out. But yeah, if you guys want to try the Blind Barrels release 7 or the next release they do, make sure you check out the link down in the description below. If you sign up, it helps me a little bit here on the channel too, so that would really mean a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for your next drink.